So, welcome to the second podcast of Rebirth Works. And I'm the relations manager and financial planner of Rebirth Works. And I'm here with the lead programmer.
We are doing our second episode of the podcast, which I think I'm going to start releasing monthly, just to show you guys where we're at from the last episode that we did. We got a lot going on in the future with our game here, and we're hoping to show you guys a lot.
So tell me, what kind of improvements have you made to the game since the last podcast?
Well, I really wanted to lean into the drawn look and style of the game so far. I thought it would be pretty cool to add some more interesting, colorful doors, a few new enemies with a lot more obstacles and puzzle-like features. We installed a imp-like creature. He kind of flies around and fires fireballs everywhere, kind of making it difficult to dodge. So now players will have to be a lot more attentive to what's on the screen and move around a lot more than they used to. We want to really make players feel like they have to keep up lots of enemies on the screen, lots of projectiles, lots of action and destruction. Players should feel like they have to move constantly.
Yeah.
And just try to survive.
So do you think that, so what's going on with the doors? Tell me about the doors.
So we wanted to add a color aspect to the doors and make it more like a puzzle.
Really?
Some of the doors might glow red, some of the doors might glow blue, requiring different objects of similar color to be found in the stage to open them. We want to add more things to do so that there's more things that, players can have fun with.
Honestly, I like to look forward to the enemies. So, I like a variety. The variety of enemies tells me how much you've put into a game, right? So for me, I don't want to run into the same consistent enemy over time, and it gets kind of boring,
Gotcha.
So for me, as we move forward through a level, when I beat a game, I get to the next level, it should be different,
Absolutely. And we actually plan on adding a lot of different themes to each floor. Once you beat the boss of one floor, you move into the next floor and it's going to feel like a whole new stage. That's because each floor ran by a boss all have different archetypes. So it'll keep it fresh throughout the game.
How did we create the bar system that you have when it comes to health and stamina? What did you do to actually do that?
Well,
I'm actually not a part of this point of the game, so I have no idea. So I'm hoping to learn something.
Absolutely. We work with a really talented artist. He's given us a lot of help. Very generous guy. He did the UI for us, the menus, and he came up with this really cool health bar.
So how often would you level up, though? Is this like a slow level up game, or is this like a high, quick, bang, 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 bang?
Leveling up is based on the player. The more enemies you kill, the more tokens you collect. And these small blue flames are pretty much enemy souls.
Okay, so small blue flames. Okay,
yeah, the more you get
for bigger enemies and stuff like that.
Bosses will normally, we plan on having bosses drop multiple of these.
What about mini bosses?
You're referring to the elites that show up in the stage.
Oh, okay, all right.
The more of a certain enemy that you kill will spawn a bigger version of that enemy, and he'll glow red.
So you're saying that as you move forward, in the same level, if you cannot find what you're looking for, right? Because I'm guessing that's what you're doing, right? You're going to run into stronger enemies over time.
So the cool thing about this game is the more you level up, the harder the enemies get. As you level up over time, your enemies, they don't want to get ran over by this powerful hero. So
That's true.
they start sending you more elites. They start
That's
sending
true.
you more boss type enemies.
I mean, you want it to be fun. Like, nobody likes an easy game.
Right. Absolutely not.
You mentioned something to me earlier about a difficulty level coming up here soon.
Yep. We just added a difficulty mode to the project. We wanted the game to have a lot of replayability.
That's right.
So we added a nightmare mode.
That's good. That's good.
Honestly, it's going to be a pretty fun mode. The majority of the enemies are all going to be elites. And
Oh, really?
you'll get kind of a risk and reward type situation. You will level up faster because elites will drop more experience than normal enemies.
So it's like a faster paced game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you'll have a lot more access to power-ups, but the enemies will also be very much...
Yeah. And you'll die. You'll
Well,
just die.
we don't want players to suffer like crazy,
Oh,
but...
no, we do. I do.
It'll be fun. It will be fun. Interesting.
For me.
Well, so those are some of the new options that we're adding to the game, and we're hoping that players will enjoy that, and our project will be way more than what we expected.
I mean, honestly, as you've said, this is a community-based thing. Truthfully, it is. We are building a game for people who love our game. You know, it will take some time, but when we find our people, we will serve them. That's really what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I really want to be a company that builds games for people who like playing games. I want to be able to take what they want, build it for them so that they can have the fun that they've been looking for.
How do you feel about replayability?
I think every game should have some form of replayability.
Okay.
I don't think a game should ever get old and then tossed to the side because you're waiting for part 2 or part 3. I feel like a game should be enjoyable no matter what the situation.
Almost like an arcade game. It has to be good enough to where you want to play it constantly, like an arcade game.
Yeah, we like stuff like that. You know, it's fun. It's things to pass time, and that's what games are. They're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to pass time, and you're supposed to enjoy them to the point where you don't really want to put it down. And I would love to, at one point in time, maybe in the future, once we are a little more established and more well known, to actually just say, hey, you know what? Everyone who's part of our community, let's just build a game together. You guys give me an idea, we'll make it. You give me ideas for characters, we'll do that. I feel like that would be pretty fun, at least on my end.
I think community outreach is a huge deal when it comes to video games, because honestly, no one ever speaks to us. Like, I love video games, but there's not once I feel like I have any power over how a video game changed.
Well, that's because most companies, they don't really care about the player base. They just care about how much they're going to get paid for this game. So,
well, I mean,
but to wrap things up, yeah, we're going to pretty much be putting out one of these videos maybe every 3 weeks to a month, just show you guys where we're at, what we want to do, what we want to hear from you. And once we get the demo up, we definitely want to hear your feedback. We definitely want to hear what you think would make this game awesome and enjoyable for you. So,
I mean, that's what we really want. We want feedback. We're trying to make this game successful. And honestly, the only way that we're going to be able to make it successful is if we hear from people who like the game. If you don't like the game, let us know what you don't like. If you don't like the fact that he has a red cape, then we'll make it a blue cape.
So please like, subscribe, and hit us up. We will read your messages. So definitely give us an opinion.
Absolutely.